When they found the Edmund Fitzgerald wreck and gave it a proper survey back in 1976, researchers, investigators, and the general public at large were horrified by the state of the ship. Steel was bent and peeled like wet cardboard, and plating was just torn apart. But most shockingly of all was the fact that the ship had broken in two, and there was a whole section of her just seemingly missing. About a third of the Fitzgerald's hull was entirely gone, reduced to mangled and torn metal in the lake bottom. What on earth happened? Well, since then it's remained as a bit of a mystery, but I can think of one other wreck that may give us something of a clue. In 1980, the big bulk carrier Darbashier sank in similar circumstances during a storm, and her wreck was absolutely devastated, with only the bow section being even recognisable as being a ship at all. An independent report analysed the forces at play, and it found that even just below the water's surface, the pressure might be enough to implode empty ballast tanks and cargo holds that hadn't yet flooded with water. In fact, the Darbashier's big empty ballast tanks could have gone off with as much energy, the equivalent of 200 tons of TNT. It shattered the ship's hull all the way along, rendering it completely unrecognisable, and the effects of the damage on the Edmund Fitzgerald are fairly similar. With a third of the ship's hull missing, it could be that the empty ballast tanks imploded on the way down. The subsequent release of air and energy simply blasting the hull apart, and it may explain why so much of the Edmund Fitzgerald just appears to be missing.